You walk into a room, and nobody looks up. Your adult children visit, but spend more time on their phones. You speak, and people talk over you, as if you never said anything. You have decades of wisdom, but nobody asks for your advice anymore. This is not just loneliness. This is invisibility, and is happening to millions of older adults right now. The National Institute on Aging conducted research in 2023 on social isolation. They found that 27% of adults over 60 live completely alone. But living alone is not the real problem here. The real problem is feeling unseen even when surrounded by others. Dr. Linda Fried from Columbia University studied this phenomenon for years. Her research team discovered something shocking about invisible older adults. Their brain scans showed activity similar to people experiencing physical pain. Being ignored actually hurts the brain in measurable ways. The ancient Greeks understood this concept thousands of years ago. They believed that being seen by others was essential to human existence. Aristotle wrote that man is a social animal by nature. He argued that isolation from society destroys the human spirit. The Japanese have a term for this experience called Kodokushi. It means dying alone and remaining undiscovered for long periods. This cultural concept reflects their deep understanding of elder invisibility. But you do not have to die alone to feel invisible. Many seniors feel this way while their families live nearby. Stanford University released findings in 2024 about elder perception in society. They tracked how younger people respond to older adults in conversations. The results were disturbing but not surprising to many seniors. Younger participants interrupted older speakers 3 times more often than peers. They also looked away more frequently during conversations with older adults. Eye contact dropped by 40% when speaking with someone over 65. This is not accidental or coincidental behavior. Society has programmed younger generations to devalue aging voices. The media rarely shows older adults as central characters with agency. When seniors do appear, they are usually sick or dependent or comic relief. This creates a feedback loop of invisibility in real life. Dr. Becca Levy at Yale School of Public Health spent decades researching this. Her groundbreaking work shows that negative age stereotypes actually shorten lives. Seniors who internalize invisibility die an average of 7.5 years earlier. The psychological impact becomes physical over time. But here is what most people do not understand about feeling invisible. It changes how you see yourself from the inside out. Harvard Medical School published research on self-perception in aging populations. They found that invisible seniors stop advocating for their own needs. They visit doctors less frequently even when experiencing symptoms. They stop participating in community activities they once enjoyed. Their worlds become smaller because they believe nobody wants them there. This creates a dangerous spiral of withdrawal and isolation. The ancient Roman philosopher Cicero wrote about aging with dignity. He argued that old age should be a time of respect and influence. Roman elders held positions in the Senate well into their 80s. Their experience was considered the most valuable asset in society. Somewhere along the way, modern culture lost this wisdom completely. Now youth is worshipped and age is seen as something to hide. But the psychology behind invisibility goes even deeper than social rejection. UCLA researchers discovered changes in hormone levels among isolated seniors. Cortisol levels remained elevated throughout the day in invisible older adults. This chronic stress hormone elevation damages multiple body systems over time. It weakens the immune system and increases inflammation throughout the body. The heart works harder and blood pressure stays dangerously high. Memory formation becomes impaired because the brain stays in threat mode. Your body literally believes it is under constant attack. The University of Chicago did longitudinal studies on senior social connection. They followed 2,000 adults over 65 for more than 10 years. Those who felt invisible had 45% higher mortality rates. This was independent of their actual amount of social contact. Feeling unseen mattered more than being physically alone. The perception of invisibility killed more people than actual isolation. This tells us something crucial about human psychology at any age. We need to feel that our presence matters to others. We need to know that our absence would be noticed and mourned. Without this, we lose our sense of purpose and meaning. The Japanese concept of Ikigai speaks directly to this need. Ikigai means your reason for being or your purpose for waking up. Traditional Japanese culture maintains strong intergenerational bonds to preserve this. Elders are consulted on family decisions and community matters regularly. Their visibility is protected through intentional cultural practices. But what happens when your culture does not protect your visibility? Johns Hopkins researchers identified specific triggers that worsen elder invisibility. Retirement removes professional identity and daily social structure suddenly. Loss of a spouse eliminates the person who saw you most completely. Adult children moving away creates physical distance and emotional gaps. Mobility issues make leaving home harder and more exhausting. Technology advances create communication barriers with younger generations. Each of these factors adds another layer of invisibility. Dr. Robert Waldinger directs the Harvard study of adult development. This is the longest scientific study of happiness ever conducted. It has followed participants for more than 85 years now. The single strongest predictor of health and happiness is social connection. Not wealth or fame or achievement, but feeling seen by others. Older participants who maintained strong relationships lived longer and healthier lives. They reported higher life satisfaction even with physical health problems. The quality of relationships mattered far more than the quantity. One person who truly sees you matters more than 100 shallow connections. But building these connections becomes harder as you age. The Max Planck Institute studied friendship formation across the lifespan. They found that people over 65 make new friends 50% less often. This is partly due to reduced opportunities in retirement. But it's also because invisible people stop trying to be seen. They assume rejection before anyone has a chance to accept them. The Greek Stoic philosophers taught a different approach to this problem. Epictetus argued that you cannot control how others treat you. You can only control your own actions and reactions to invisibility. Marcus Aurelius wrote about maintaining dignity regardless of external circumstances. He believed that your worth comes from within, not from others' recognition. This ancient wisdom offers a psychological framework for modern seniors. You do not need everyone to see you to maintain your sense of self, but you do need to see yourself clearly and honestly. The University of Michigan conducted intervention studies with invisible seniors. They tested different approaches to rebuilding visibility and social connection. Volunteer work proved most effective at restoring sense of purpose. Seniors who helped others felt seen and valued again. Mentorship programs connected elders with younger people seeking guidance. This reversed the typical invisibility dynamic completely. Suddenly, older adults had something younger people desperately wanted. Their experience became valuable instead of irrelevant. Technology training classes helped bridge the digital divide. Seniors who mastered video calls reported feeling more visible to distant family. The key finding was that passive activities did not help at all. Watching more television or scrolling social media increased invisibility feelings. Active engagement with others was the only intervention that worked. Your visibility must be reclaimed through intentional action. Northwestern University found that creative expression also combats invisibility effectively. Seniors who took up painting or writing or music reported feeling more seen. Creating something allows you to communicate without needing an audience. The act of expression itself restores a sense of presence. But the most powerful finding came from intergenerational programs. When seniors and young children spent regular time together, both groups benefited. Children learned patience and gained historical perspective from elder stories. Seniors felt needed and valued for their knowledge and experience again. The invisibility disappeared when purpose was restored through relationship. This brings us back to the fundamental psychology of being human. We are relational beings who need to matter to someone. Age does not change this core psychological need at all. Your need to be seen is as valid now as it ever was. The solution is not waiting for society to change its views on aging. The solution is taking action to make yourself visible again. Reach out to that grandchild who never calls you first. Join that community group you have been avoiding for months. Volunteer at that local organization that needs experience help. Share your story with someone who might benefit from your wisdom. Your invisibility ends the moment you decide to be seen again. The psychology of feeling invisible at old age is real and painful. But it is not permanent unless you accept it as your reality. You have lived too long and learned too much to disappear now. The world needs your voice even when it pretends not to listen. Make yourself visible today. Your presence still matters more than you know.